you know Minecraft and Minecraft on YouTube, you might have ran into or even watched an SMP in your time. In case you don't know, it just means a survival multiplayer server, with a specific flavor depending on the players, from the role-playing of the Dream SMP to the mega bases of Hermitcraft and all sorts of other things like that. But today we're going to talk about a very specific and very special server, the Life series, or the Life SMP. This series has shenanigans, teamwork, betrayals, rivalries, character arcs, plot twists, and ranges from just fishing and talking to outright wars and lore, and creates an experience never to be forgotten. I've got a lot to share with both of those of you who have never heard of the series before, and those who are dedicated fans, so strap yourself in, because we're going to talk all about the Life series and what makes it so special.
Was it mine?
She's losing her freaking mind. She's crazy.
Alright, so to truly appreciate the scale the Life series has created, we must first understand the beginning, the very beginning, which takes us back, all the way back to October of 2017. Grian, who is known for his building tutorials and pranks, created a brand new SMP series, called Evolution, or Evo for short. It was a simple enough idea. Him and his friends would start in the very first version of Minecraft and would go through different versions of Minecraft through portals, quests, and teamwork. Grian played with quite a few people, some of whom would even later join the Life series, such as Martin, Jimmy, Big B, and Pearl. The reason why I bring this up is that while the series started off fairly normal, things quickly took an interesting turn.
It's definitely, I would have noticed
What?
this.
Okay.
So this has just appeared. So this went. I've got some.
Okay. I guess
Is this
it's
it?
just what a
We,
ripoff.
I mean, is
We are
that it?
watching.
There's a sign saying we are watching. Are you not alarmed by this?
That's extreme.
This was the beginning of Grian orchestrating storylines and lore, starting with what would be known as the Watchers. The Watchers would essentially mess with the players, and were bringing them into the different versions of the game, and by the end of Evo, Grian himself even became a Watcher. The Watchers were intended to represent the audience for that specific series, but the fans and creators alike would bring the Watchers everywhere Grian went. The next year, Grian was brought onto Hermitcraft, which, as I mentioned, is a different SMP where you build megabases, trade resources, and that kind of thing. Grian being added to Hermitcraft quickly changed the entire energy and vibe of the server, with a lot more shenanigans and plot lines, such as the rebellion led by Grian against another hermit, Scar, who had appointed himself mayor. Sure, they still build massive megabases, but it had a lot more focus on player interactions. Things remained this way for a while, until in 2020, Dream created the Dream SMP, which was the biggest and most successful SMP of all time. The biggest reason? Storytelling and drama.
I want to see white flags! White flags outside your base by tomorrow at dawn, or you are dead!
Parent with another. Don't you see what's happening here? Don't you see history repeating itself?
That's when it all came together in Grian's mind with his two brain cells. The storytelling and arcs that Grian had always been fascinated with, the pranks he's always loved, and emphasis on interacting with his friends in an SMP server all came together to create Third Life, the first season of the Life SMP series. Unlike the Dream SMP, where the story and interactions were all scripted, they would all go in having no idea what was going to happen. And they would create the story and arcs and pranks all on the fly. The series was designed to have an ebb and flow, with each player having 3 lives. The first 2, they could work together, build alliances and all that stuff, but once you hit your 3rd life, you become hostile and try to kill other players. And then the last player standing wins the series. Third Life was very much an experimental and very much did not go the way Grian or likely any of the players thought it would go. But they and the fans alike loved it. Each season afterwards would change the formula up in some way, such as adding a boogeyman or giving players 24 hours to live, but the core goal and feel would stay consistent. The seasons. I'm going to keep this section relatively brief, because if this video gets 50 likes, I'm going to do a retrospective for Third Life specifically, so if you want that, then I guess you'll just have to like the video then, now won't ya? Anyways, as I mentioned, the first season of the Life series is called Third Life, and don't worry if you think that was a confusing title for the first series, cause it is. Don't worry, it's only gonna get worse from here. Last Life comes next and introduces the Boogeyman, which is where random players turn into the Boogeyman and has to kill someone to be cured. Double Life comes next. See what I'm saying with these titles here, guys? In Double Life, you're paired with a player and you share a health bar with them. Limited Life brought the Boogeyman back and gives every player 24 hours to live. Secret Life gives every player a secret task to complete, and Real Life was Third Life but VR, which made it not only real life, but also made it a real quick life at that. So those are the basics of each season so far. Now with all that out of the way, let's talk about what makes the Life series so special, starting with the characters and player arcs. The Life series players, or lifers, grow a lot over the course of the series. I'm going to use Grian as an example. Over the course of the series, we see Grian grow in confidence with a very specific skill: trap making. In Third Life, Grian has a few traps that work, but most of them don't, or at the very least don't work as intended. But by the time we hit Limited Life or Secret Life, it's his prime attack method and makes him an incredibly deadly opponent to go up against. It's satisfying and really cool to see how much each player grows over the course of the series. It makes each season worth watching. Now, the lifers don't just play as themselves all the time. What I mean by this is each season, players create stories mostly on the fly that weave together to tell an epic and mostly humorous tale with lots of moving pieces. Now, Joel is of course still Joel, and Gem is still Gem, but as the story unfolds, ships burn, minds are lost, and villains are born. The most prominent example of a character arc is Pearl in Double Life. Pearl and Scott were selected to be soulmates or share lives, and unlike in Last Life, they didn't get along. In fact, Scott had decided to hang out with Cleo for the most part instead of Pearl, and Pearl was more interested in her dog Tilly and getting back at Scar by, torturing him. As the season progresses, we see Pearl become less and less hinged, until in the end, she's just full-blown lost it. I won't spoil what happens after that for those of you who haven't seen it yet, but let's just say Scott and Pearl's relationship and arc have an interesting conclusion during that last episode. This leads us to the next area the Life series excels at: alliances and betrayals. The other concepts and mechanics are great, but none are as important as this aspect of the Life series. This is the flesh and blood and why the series isn't just some Hunger Games SMP or something. It's all about the players and their interactions, alliances, and betrayals. Who can forget the iconic bad boys with Skynet and the Bridge of Doom, or the Heart Foundation, or the AHA gang, or any other member of groups and team-ups? It's a treat to watch them work together, goof off, and allows us to root for our favorite teams to win the season. It's also super interesting to see how each team essentially creates their own traditions and culture as the season progresses. Like Team Best Speed building cannons or watching Mumbo do his intros in the AHA gang. You can choose to root for the underdogs, like Joel and Last Life being red basically all season, or simply follow each team to try and judge who's the strongest, such as Ethan and Joel in Double Life. Once the second half hits and red names start popping up, tensions rise, and then when you throw a boogeyman into the mix, betrayals and backstabbing add a lot of drama and things get real fast. When Scar chooses to side with Pearl over Scott in Secret Life, that decision has a huge impact on the plot. When B-Dubs kills his teammate Impulse, who were tight all season for a clock, I don't know about you, but my jaw dropped. The point is, the Life series finds a really good balance between drama, friendship, and competition, and thrives because of it. Events and jokes that need multiple POVs. Do you know what else thrives because of the setup of the series? Us, by getting multiple perspectives of every episode. While all the series seriously benefits from watching multiple perspectives, none of the series benefits more than the most recent series, Secret Life. Thanks to the secret tasks, the series is incredibly unpredictable. That means that while watching Etho try to steal different people's beds, he sees other people acting really strange and out of character, and doesn't know the context, like Grian dropping a bunch of puns on him for seemingly no reason. This makes each episode and player incredibly unpredictable and makes watching from multiple POVs almost necessary to understand why Mumbo was seemingly trying to kill a camel, why Joel keeps eavesdropping on people, or why Big B is hiding a big hole in his basement. Because of this makes it compact and with enough content and depth that rivals full-on TV series. It's also a super smart business move because some channels are smaller than others. As we know, that's kind of how YouTube works, and attracts slightly different audiences. So uniting the audience makes it more fun for all parties involved, the fan base. Because of the depth of the series itself, as well as the lore that comes like the Watchers with it, fan base is quite dedicated with a ton of great art, animatics, songs, and so much more content and stuff. A big reason for this is the players of the Life series are incredibly supportive of all this and go out of their way to thank the fans for watching and creating art. It's super cool to see the support the fans and the YouTubers give each other. So, what does this mean for the future of the Life series, and the future of Minecraft content in general? Well, for the Life series, as of the recording of this video, Grian dropped at the end of MCC that the next season is coming out sometime this year. Around November, if I were to guess. It should be the same fun, drama, and chaos as the other series, but with some kind of twist into the life mechanic, and I would guess the return of the boogeyman concept. Other than that, I couldn't tell you what it'd be like, but I suspect the Life series will continue to grow in popularity. As for Minecraft and Minecraft content, it really just continues to show how versatile the game is as an art form. The same game that can be used to teach kids, build massive works of art, and be competitive esports can also be used as a form of storytelling and competition reality TV shows. It's for this very reason that Minecraft is continuing to be played so many years after it was first released. And it's truly insane we are continuing to find new and exciting ways to use this game to express ourselves and entertain others. And thank goodness for that, because otherwise we wouldn't have the Life series. Wow. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this video, please share it and subscribe. It would mean a ton. Also remember, if you want to see another Life series retrospective, I'll make another one if this video gets 50 likes. And with that, I hope you have an amazing day, cause gosh, you deserve it.